As we pulled into Sanford Homebrew, doesn't look like much from the outside, but these guys influence a lot of brew makers here in the city of Sanford. Aaron, how you doing?
Doing great.
Good
Welcome.
to see you. So Brewhouse is here in the community. What's one of the community beers you guys try to make to kind of commemorate that?
Our Porchfest beer is probably the most well-known one. We started brewing here in January a couple years ago when we do an event here in town called Porchfest, where everybody gets lawn chairs and they go to people's porches and drink beer and listen to music.
Porchfest is kind of everywhere, all over downtown Sanford.
Yep, yeah. So we did a German-style fest beer for Porchfest, so we just call it Porchfest beer, and it was super popular. And it's just nice because it's got a good balance of like malt and hops, and it's a little bit stronger than most beers, and so people really like it. Yeah.
I think we need to check that out right now. Let's do that as our starting off beer.
Here at Community Brewhouse, we have 11 beers on tap. And the beers that we have found over the years that we need to have on draft all the time are our Squirrel Chaser, our beer-flavored beer, that's our light lager. Our Porchfest, which we named after the event that goes on here in Sanford in February every year. We made a very light German Fest beer, which is a step down from a German Oktoberfest, but it's still malty and has a lot of flavor in it. We do a simple sour that's on tap all the time that we can flavor with different flavorings like the Germans do with several of their different styles of beer like Berliner Weiss. So in our bottle collection, our bottles and can collection, we try to have an eclectic collection from around the world of beers that we really like and that you can't find everywhere else. We also do coffee. So it's like going to a regular upscale coffee shop inside of a brewery.
So this is Porchfest.
Yeah.
Pretty good. What all goes into that?
So that's got some Pilsner malt, Carapils, some Munich malt, so it's nice and bready.
Yeah,
and
I
malty.
taste it was very bready.
Yep, and then it's got some classic German hops.
Yeah.
Just some nice herbal, spicy kind of hops in the
Now,
finish.
are there any, I know you guys help out a lot of the other bars. Do you guys share your beers with other bars in town, or is everything exclusively sold here?
Everything that we brew here, we sell here, just because of the license that we have.
Okay.
But we collaborate with a lot of other breweries here in town, and we work together on a lot of stuff. We help a lot of people with recipes.
So there might be another Porchfest at another venue, is what you're saying?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, sometimes kind of everybody does their own version of
Okay.
Porchfest beer. There's a few other events throughout the year that kind of, Oktoberfest or things like that, where everybody does their own take, but we usually kind of like collaborate on things like that.
What's the style of beer that you like to make that's like the most fun? Like you look forward to coming in and that's what I'm working on today.
Yeah, I would say the Alien Space Juice that we make is kind of the most unique and fun one that we do, because it's raw, hazy IPA. We don't boil it. It's got a bunch of different grains in there. It turns out purple, and everybody kind of goes crazy about that.
So let me stop you. How does it turn? Why does it turn purple?
It's the corn that we use in it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we use some Native American corn in there.
Like a blue corn?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Which adds like a nice sweetness and kind of complexity to it.
So I'm a new home brewer. I'm not saying you specifically, but I'm a new home brewer. What's the basic you start everybody off with and kind of get them on their way to doing it?
So most people, well, we do a class. So in the class, we kind of go through using like the very basic kits that we have, extract brewing, that kind of stuff. And then we have ingredients that, you can just come in, grab a box that has everything that you need. But then we have a whole room full of malts and hops and yeast. And so sometimes people will get recipes online or out of a book or something. They can come in, we help them find everything.
So with our supplies here at Sanford Homebrew Shop, we offer that to everybody, whether that be the layperson coming in that has a Mr. Beer kit at home or somebody that has no idea what they want, all the way up to the professional breweries that exist in the town and the surrounding areas. So we sell that, we sell our surplus supplies, our bulk stuff, to a lot of the breweries that get shorted on their shipments and they can't wait to make a beer because time is money. But we also cater to everything in between. We cater to the person that's never made beer before and the person that's made a dozen batches to a person that's made thousands of batches.
And you really get like three different types of people that want to learn how to brew. You get the people that are more into the equipment and they just want to build out like the coolest brewery in town, and then you get people that are more like the chefs and they're the culinary minded, so they want to make beers that have 50 ingredients in them.
And do pairings, probably pairings.
Yeah, do pairings and stuff like that. And then you get the more like the microbiologists that come in and they really are fascinated by the yeast and the bacteria and the fermentation process, and they're always wanting to like collect wild yeast from their backyard or something.
Is your yeast proprietary?
All the yeast that we sell here, we actually get from laboratories.
Okay.
So they're getting it from all over the world and then propagating it, and then they ship it to us in the cooler. And that's one thing that does kind of set us apart from most breweries, because most breweries, they have a very limited selection of malts and hops and yeast that they use. Most of them just use 1 yeast or 2 yeast.
But you guys are a general store basically for brew
Right,
makers.
because we have all the home brewers
Yeah.
that if they're making a German beer, they want all German stuff. They're making a British beer the next week, they want all British stuff. And so we supply over 100 malts, 100 hops, 100 yeast. Because we're also kind of like the convenience store for a lot of the other breweries where, we ripped open a bag of grain with the forklift today. Do you have a bag of this? And we ran out of something a couple of days ago and we borrowed it from another brewery in town. They sent it over with a case of beer. And, so it's a very friendly community, but we also kind of work together.
So, Aaron, tell me what other beers you have, and I'm going to need another sample.
All right. Let's see. We do every year for Christmas, we do a St. Nicholas and a Krampus, which kind of started with the German restaurant around the corner. And they do a big event every year, Krampus Nacht. And so we brew beers for that. So I've got some of the St. Nicholas here. And those are both Belgian strong ales. So this is kind of the golden strong is the St. Nick, and then the dark strong is the Krampus.
It's a wheat beer?
It does have some wheat in it, yeah.
That's actually really good. I like that. And you only make that at Christmas time?
Yep.
Or is it Christmas time year round here at the...
No, that's a once a year,
Brewhouse?
but people kind of look forward to it and they come back, and we get some homebrewers that make it at home because they don't want to wait a year.
So Aaron, I know you're not here by yourself. Tell me a little bit about Gary.
So he's my business partner. We've done this since the day that we opened. We kind of started brewing at home.
Right.
And it just kind of grew from there. Now we're up to 30-something breweries that we've helped open, and we've done a lot of judging together and consulting and that kind of stuff. It's way too much work to do by yourself. Everybody thinks the brewing industry is glamorous, and everybody thinks it's funny. You sit around and you drink beer all day, and they think it's just like brewing in your garage. But really, you're dealing with chemicals, you're dealing with a lot of heavy things, the equipment. That can be pretty dangerous. So we do keep it very professional. In the brew house.
So out of all the beers you make, which one is your favorite? Give me your top three.
Man. All right. I like the Alien Space Juice just because it's got a really nice, complex grain flavor to it. There's no bitterness, but it's really hoppy, like all that nice, bright, citrusy, fruity flavors from the hops. So I really like that one. We do a strawberry milkshake IPA, which we started doing. My son is the manager at the ice cream shop down the street.
Okay.
So we did it for their Christmas party. They wanted a strawberry milkshake beer, and I was like, all right, challenge accepted, let's do it.
Right.
And that's surprisingly good and easy to drink.
Right.
And we do a Death Star Disco, which is like a big, huge imperial stout that we age it for a year.
Oh, wow.
And that it's a lot of work, but it's really good.
So you store it here when you're aging it? Or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so we age it with wood for a while, and then we keg it, and we let the keg sit for 6 or 8 months until it's usually January, New Year's.
So Aaron, tell me a little bit about the process. What happens when you first get in here and you're getting ready to do a brewing?
Yeah, so we start heating up water. We kind of adjust the water, adding salts to it to make the right water for the type of beer that we're doing, adjusting alkalinity and other minerals.
Okay.
And then, getting the hops out. We weigh out all the grains, crush them so they're ready to go. We mix the grains into the hot water, which activates the enzymes in the malt, and it'll start to break the starches down into sugars. And then we strain the grains back out of that, and they go to the farmer. And then we basically bring that wort to a boil, add our hops into it. So now we have a whole bunch of nice sugar water that once we boil it for an hour, kind of break some of the proteins out, get the bitterness out of our hops. We'll chill it down, usually add some more hops to it so that we're not getting bitterness, but we keep all that nice aroma and all that citrusy, floral character to it. And then we transfer it over to the fermenter, put some yeast in there, let the yeast kind of chew on all those sugars for usually about a week and a half. And then during that time, we'll kind of cap it off and let it kind of build up some of that carbonation naturally.
It's not a quick process.
No, it's not a quick process, no. And then we cool it down, carbonate it, put it in the keg. So Like the beer that we're making today, it'll be about 2 weeks before it's really ready to put on tap and serve.
So it all ends up like this, right?
Yeah, all that hard work and then somebody comes and drinks it all.
All right, well, I got to take off. Thank you,
right.
sir, for having me. I'm going to find Chip. He's going to pay the bill. But
All right.
everybody, you want to come down here to Community Brewhouse in Sanford. They've got a lot of great stuff. You're going to want to check it out. It's right here, Brewhouse TV. So the cool thing about Sanford Brewhouse is they have classes where you can learn to make your own beer, cheese.
So we hold a multitude of classes here at Sanford Homebrew Shop and Community Brewhouse, and they range from the beginners Homebrew 101 class, and that meets every first Sunday of every month at 2 p.m. right here in our shop. You sign up online at sanfordhomebrewshop.com, click on classes, and you can sign up right there for any available class.
After visiting Sanford Homebrew and with the help of Gary and Aaron, I think I can even do my own home brewing. Brew Hops TV.